Hey everybody. Okay, so I'm just gonna give people a second. Okay, so I'm just gonna get going. So if you jump on, say hey over here, if you can see this. Okay, so I'm super excited to share with you guys. Let's see how it looks here for light. My story. I know a lot of you have been kind of new to following my page, new to being my friend on Facebook, or you found me on Instagram, however, or my like page. A lot of you are new to following me, and I'm super excited to share just my story, how Beachbody came into my life and how it's changed my life and where we're going, and then like what a little bit about like what we do as coaches, because I think there's a huge misconception about what we really do as coaches, and I want to share that with you guys because it's so simple. And honestly, if you guys are working out every single day already and you love fitness and you want to get healthy and you want to get fit, this is like a no-brainer for you. So a little bit about me before I got started. I have been coaching for 6 years already. It's crazy. And before I got started with coaching, when I got started with coaching, I was 22. So backtrack all the way to my college years in high school or in college. That's when I got started, was when I was in college. I was 22. I had just gotten out of kind of an abusive relationship. It was always up and down, and I was broke. I was living paycheck to paycheck. Literally, when I think back, like, I don't know how I even made it. My parents helped me a lot. I was working many part-time jobs. So I don't know what this is. I was working, like, I can count in my 4 years that I was a coach, or I was in college. I probably worked like 4 to 5 different part-time jobs, you guys. Like, I was one of those people who I'd work a job, and if I didn't like it, I quit and got another job. And I found, and like when I look back now, I realize that I'm not somebody who likes to have a boss. I don't like somebody breathing down my neck. I don't like somebody telling me what to do, or I don't like, I guess I just didn't like the restriction that came with having a job. And that's no, I mean, it's normal, but I guess like looking back, I definitely always had like an entrepreneur like mindset, I guess, if that's the right word for it. So I worked many part-time jobs. I was partying a lot. I would say like 2 to 4 times a week, depending on the week and what was going on. So that was bad. And with drinking came eating crappy. So that was that. I was also working, like one of my part-time jobs was at a daycare. So I was working 30 hours at a daycare. I was in school full time, and I was going to school for exercise science and psychology, which is funny because like, even though I was partying and eating crappy, I was still working out. Like, I still made time to work out because I just loved how I felt when I worked out. But I was spending like 2 hours at the gym, anything, kind of just mindlessly doing whatever. And yes, I was going to school for exercise science. So like, you'd think I'd know what I was doing. And I kind of did, like towards obviously the end of when I got done with school. And what I found was like, in this time when I was in school, before I found coaching, I was really lost. I didn't really know what I really wanted out of life. I knew I wanted something more, and I knew I wanted a plan, and I knew I knew in the future, eventually when I had kids, that I wanted to be able to be home with them. And I thought, how cool would it be to for fitness, and obviously I loved helping people, mix that into a career that I could eventually do from home online, right? Like this was before Facebook was really big. This was before there was Instagram. This was before there was Snapchat. This was before like social media was really big. And I was already thinking like, wouldn't it be really cool to be able to do like some type of coaching, some type of like personal training online and help people with their health and fitness, because I had a passion for fitness, and help them feel happy with their body, and help them become unlost, and help them get like just be happy with themselves, right? Because I was super lost, and I was super, yes, I was at the gym all the time, but I wasn't happy with where I was. I wasn't really fit. I was more like a skinny fat because I was drinking and eating crappy. And I was a cardio queen. Like I did cardio all the time. Like I would do cardio for like 45 minutes to an hour on the elliptical, which I dreaded doing this. And then I would like go through the machines and just like randomly do machines. Which what? Like that doesn't get you results. No wonder I wasn't happy. So that was like before I joined as a coach, right? My life leading up to coaching. So I found coaching in 2011. Crazy that it was that long ago. And a funny story, the same month that I found coaching, I actually met my now husband. How crazy is that? So those two huge things that totally changed my life happened in the same month, in the same year. Ironic. No, it's a God thing. So I started coaching. I literally jumped right in. My best friend now, which we were in the toddler room at our daycare because we both worked at the daycare, and we were just talking, and she was like, hey, you should totally check out this coaching thing I just started like a couple months ago. You'd probably love it because whatever. And I was like, okay, send me a webinar or send me information. And she sent me something just like this. And I watched it and I was like, that's exactly what I want to do. Literally, it was exactly what I told you guys that I wanted to do, mix my passion for fitness and helping people into a career that I could do from home. And the lady who I watched, I don't remember what video I had watched, but she had like quit her full-time job and she was home with her kid. And I was just like, that is what I want. Like, I want that. So I literally jumped in full force. Now, has it been easy since then? No, I've had to work. I've had to overcome things. There's a lot of shit that's happened in the last 6 years. And I want to share with you guys what has happened in the last 6 years to show you that there is no perfect time to join as a coach. Like you're going to have things that happen in your life because that's life, right? Like I tell people this all the time. A lot of my clients I tell this all the time with, and they tell me, like, I want to restart my fitness and I can't do it this week because this is going on. And I'm like, you guys, that's life. Like life is going to happen and life is going to throw things at you. And I want to share all the things that like I've gone through in the last 6 years, but how much of a blessing this opportunity has been, because if I hadn't have started this 6 years ago, I would not have been able to be home and be present in these things that had happened, right? So like I said, I met Nick, my husband, the same month I started coaching. So you guys can imagine a new relationship, right? We were actually 2 hours apart too. So like on the weekends, I'd go home and see him. So I'm going to tell you this right now. When I first started coaching, I was not super consistent. And that's going to be the biggest thing that I tell you guys, like when you get started as a coach, just be consistent with what I tell you to do, right? So like I was not super consistent 7 days a week. I was like 4 days a week consistent. And then I would take off the weekend because I'd go home and I'd like go hang out with him. We'd go out, whatever. I wasn't consistent. I didn't become super consistent until I was to the point where I was like, I want to make this my job and I want to quit my jobs and do this full time. That's when I like fully made it that switch. I had to get out of that college feel still, I think. So through the last 6 years, here's what happened. So I met Nick. That next winter, I graduated from college. I took 6 months off from finding a job and I was like, Mom and Dad, because I moved home. Mom and dad, let me do this business thing. Let me make this coaching thing work. You guys, I wasn't consistent 6 days, 7 days a week. Okay. So it didn't work because I wasn't consistent. I started doing some personal training at a gym, which later I found out that I did not like. It was a kind of a waste of my time. People didn't take it like seriously. So I stopped doing that and I started doing it more on my own. Like I'd go to my clients' houses if I wanted to. They would come to our house. I just didn't like being in a gym and having them tell me like, you need to be here. Like you're your own marketing. So if you want clients, you have to be here. And then I would have to give them a cut of my pay, which I just didn't like that. So I found the gym personal training was not for me, but I loved the hands-on, the one-on-one that I got when I met with my clients. But the one thing also I didn't like is having to cater to when they could train with me, which normally was in the mornings, bright and early, or in the evenings. And I knew that when I started having kids that was not going to be okay. I didn't want to get up at 5 a.m. to go train somebody or at 9 o'clock at night to train somebody. So I just knew that was not the lifestyle I wanted. So I did the personal training thing, didn't really like that thing. From there, we got married. So I planned a wedding. And this was like probably 2 years into starting as a coach. We got engaged, and I was at that point working as a receptionist at a physical therapy office. Now, it was kind of the best of both worlds at this point because I was working my coaching business the other like part of the day at home. So I'd work there for a couple hours, like 4 or 5 hours, and then I'd come home and work my business for a couple hours. And then I would personal train people for a couple hours, right? Then I would hang out with Nick for the rest of the night. And this was before we were married. So it was kind of like the best of both worlds until the job that I had to go to, the receptionist job, they kept wanting more time for me, more time for me, more time for me, more time for me, and time that I couldn't give them. And I realized a month before we got married that I was making the same amount of money with coaching every single week that I was making every 2 weeks at this receptionist job. And that's when I put in my 2 weeks. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't give you any more time than I already am. And putting more time into my coaching business. So for me, that was probably, I don't remember what I was making. It was probably like $300 to $400 a week. I think I was making, because I think every 2 weeks I got paid like $400, $450. And then I was making around 3 to 4 every single week with coaching. So yes, I did get a pay cut, but my business started to grow after I was able to put into it full-time work. And then we got married. September of 2013, I think, is when we got married. Yep. So we just had our 4-year. Yep. We just had our 4-year anniversary. So 2013, we got married. Then we got a puppy, which you guys know, puppies are hard work, right? They're work. They're just like having a kid. And I can tell you, I swear that Jax, besides him being his personality, but I can tell you that because I was home with him, I feel like he is the way he is because I was home with him. He didn't have to sit in a kennel all day, every day. He got the freedom to be out, and we went on walks all the time. And he just had that one-on-one attention with me because I was home, because I was working from home, right? So that was one awesome thing that I loved about coaching, was being able to be a stay-at-home fur mom, which sounds crazy, but I know a lot of you don't have kids either, and you have animals and you have pets and stuff like that. And being a stay-at-home fur mom was awesome. So we did that. We bought our first fixer-upper house. And we had to put some work into it. And right as that time that we had bought that, we found out we were pregnant. And we were doing some, remodeling on our house that we just bought. And we had gone out to Montana to see my brother, and we had experienced a miscarriage out in Montana in the mountains. And so that happened. We were able to take like a week off to go out there to see my brother, which is another blessing with coaching. You normally can't do that with just a job, right? So we were out there, had a miscarriage out there in Montana, came home, and I was able to really take time off, which I don't think I even did. I think I jumped right back into coaching just because of the community that we have. Like, I was surrounded by so many women who had reached out to me about their like them going through miscarriages, and it was just this community of people that I didn't even know was out there, and without coaching I would not have found them. And so that happened. We got pregnant a second time. I had another miscarriage, and then we finally got pregnant the third time, which was like in 2015. And my first trimester, you guys, was rough. I was super like up and down sick, nauseous, not keeping everything down. Another huge blessing of being able to work from home, because I could literally sleep when I needed to. And there was some weeks and some days where I didn't move at all. I'd move from like the couch to the bed, to the bed, to the couch, the couch to the bed, to the bathroom. And it was a huge blessing to just be home and be able to not worry about having to call in for a job. That was huge for me, especially when you're pregnant and you have no idea what to expect, right? Then we did that. And then we had Grayson, our son, in 2016. And I was able to, and I'm able right now to stay home with him. So one of the biggest things that I find too right now is I'm talking to a lot of women who are pregnant or who have had a baby, and they have like a certain chunk of maternity time, right? This was a huge thing why I started when I did, because I didn't want to have my kids, whatever, you know, like my babies, and then have to figure out something for daycare, have to only have 6 weeks with them. Like, I talk to some moms who only have 6 weeks with their babies. That's so sad. 6 weeks. And it breaks my heart, because like that's when they start getting fun. And it's like my biggest thing was I didn't want to have to miss all these firsts that he goes through. And right now I feel like he's in a time where he goes through so many different firsts. Like every other day there's something new happening, and I just didn't want to miss that. And I have been able to stay home with him for the last year, a little over a year, and I basically work when he sleeps. I get up in the morning, I work out before he wakes up, then we're up for a couple hours. When he takes a nap, I work, and then he's up. We're transitioning right now into one nap a day, so it's a little bit different. And then when he's up in the afternoon, we're up in the afternoon. And when he goes to bed, I do things like this, like a call or team calls, or I finish working and then I hang out with my husband and then we go to bed. And that's kind of how our day is, you know, like I work when he's sleeping. I try not to work when he's awake, unless it's like doing a team call or like Zooms with some of my leaders where they don't care if he's like roaming in the background. But the nice thing is you can do a lot from your phone. So if I had to do a call quick, I could do it on my phone, or I could do it through our Zoom app. And like, I've just been able to really make it work for me and work my business when he's sleeping, when it's convenient for me to work. But I still am consistent every single day. That's the biggest thing. Like, it's super easy to do, but it's super easy not to do. And that's the one thing why people don't succeed in it, is because they're not consistent every single day and just showing up. And I'm going to share with you guys like what you need to do to show up to be successful. And you'll learn even more when you become a coach. But right now I'm just going to share like the 4 things with you. So besides that, working during my nap time, I am the fittest that I've ever been post baby. Maybe I was like super more fit before I got married, but for having a baby a year ago, I'm the fittest. All home workouts, I can tell you. And then coaching has for sure kept me accountable. And I can tell you this because like, I know I would not have made it to the gym every single day when I had a newborn. Like would have been impossible. So it was so nice for me to have my accountability group to check in with every single day, to be like, here's how we got our workout in. Grayson's bouncing and I'm sweaty for my workout. I was able to do it with him at home with me. And that's the thing I love about this, is like, you can build your empire. You can build your freedom. You can build your fitness all from home while your kids watch you, while you're building those habits for them. That's my favorite thing about it, is like, you're not only building healthy habits for yourself, but you're building healthy habits for your family. And that's huge, you guys, because that's what gets passed down from generation to generation from generation, right? That's amazing. So where we're going now, we are looking to move into a newer house, our upgraded house that's a little bit farther away from where we live right now. And we're just sitting on waiting our house to sell our house. And this is something that like normally you can't just pick up and leave where you live if you have a job, right? If both of you have jobs, you can't just pick up and leave. And Nick has been able to find work at the same job he is now, but in like the same company, but in a different town. And that's where we're going. And I've just been able to be like, yeah, let's do it. Like I can work wherever, right? Wherever we live, I can work. So that's been really cool. And we're just striving for financial and life freedom. So like just freedom of everything free in life, like freedom of time, freedom of finances, freedom of work, freedom of choice, just everything that freedom encompasses. That's what we're working towards. And I'm working towards helping other women, especially, find that freedom by feeling good about themselves, by finding themselves again through fitness and sharing that journey. So basically what we do every single day is the first thing we do is one, we are proof the products work. So we're doing our workout every single day. We're drinking our Shakeology. We are working on ourselves. That's the biggest thing with coaching is you need to make sure that you're working on yourself. Like if you're not growing, if you're not getting results, people aren't going to want to join you. And that's the biggest thing is being proof the products work. Like showing people that like working out every single day, following this program and eating healthy and drinking your Shakeology is changing your life from the outside in and in the inside. Shakeology will change your life from the inside too. So that's the first thing. And just sharing your journey, how it's changing your life, right? The second thing is personal development. And I can tell you guys, I was never a personal development guru. Now I can tell you it's been the one thing that has changed my life. I'm going to say that a lot. A lot of things have changed my life with this whole coaching opportunity. But this is another thing. Like if coaching were to go away, the personal development aspect will stay with me because it's totally changed how I look at life, how I treat things, how I respond to things, how I just think about life. Okay. So the personal development, picking books that are personal to you. So like what I'm reading might not be something that is going to be personal to you, but like, what are you going through in your life right now? That you could have help with, that's where the personal development goes through. Maybe you're struggling with confidence. Maybe you're struggling with your faith. Maybe you're struggling with relationships. Maybe you're struggling with leadership. Like where in your life are you struggling? We can find a personal development book for you for that to read, to work on your mindset with working on your physical self. And then the third thing is connecting, sharing, and inviting. So this is basically connecting with people, building relationships, reconnecting with old friends, rebuilding those relationships, talking to people, caring about people. Like I think this is where the misconception comes in when it comes to coaching is that all we want to do is sell. And this is the one business that I can tell you, the one company that I can tell you, our mission really truly is to care and to connect and to help and to serve. Like we just want to serve you, whether it has to do with buying a $160 challenge pack or our free BOD membership. Like we just want to serve. And so that's with like just connecting with people, messaging people, happy birthday, sending out thank yous to people who are liking your posts, sending out new friend requests from people who maybe you have mutual friends in common with, or following new people on Instagram that you look at their page and you're like, oh my gosh, this girl is awesome. I'm going to follow her and I'm just going to like talk with her a little bit. And then just sending like random, like, hey girl, I saw you went on a trip. Where did you go? It looked amazing. Like just care about people. And I feel like in this day and age with social media, people do not show how much they care. And with this business, people will not join you until they know how much you care. Like they won't trust you until you know how much they care. So like sharing and connecting with people. And then once you're connecting and once you're sharing on social media what you're doing, inviting people to join you. Like, hey, I saw your like all the comments and likes on my workout post. Have you been considering like doing what I'm doing? Or were you interested in anything that you've been watching? Or how are you doing with your health and fitness journey? Like it's that simple, you guys. It's not, I would never tell you to send out these icky, spammy, scripty posts to people. It's all just speaking from your heart and just caring and talking to people. That's really all it is. And then the fourth thing is recognition. And this can go all the way back from like recognizing the successes you're having in your fitness journey and recognizing the successes of people in your groups, in your challenge groups, recognizing how your team is doing, how your coaches are doing. It's just recognition of anything. It can even be as simple as, like recognizing the person who's liking your post and just saying, hey, I just wanted to say thanks for liking and sending the love on my workout post from yesterday or my post about Grayson from yesterday and just saying, hey, thanks. That can be a form of recognition too. People don't get told thank you enough. I truly believe they don't get told thank you enough. So even just being that person who's like, thanks for the love on this post. I really appreciate it. It brightened my day. How are you doing? That right there, you guys, is showing you care. And doing it from a genuine place is huge, okay? So those are the 4 things we do literally every single day. Those are the 4 things that I do to build my business. Talk about how to get started and then what you can expect after you get started, okay? So the startup fee is going to totally depend on where you are. I'm going to meet you where you're at, but I will tell you the best way to join is to join with our All Access Challenge Pack, which is $160. But you do get our All Access Beachbody On Demand for a year. And basically, this is every single program we have through our Beachbody On Demand, which is a live streaming like portal. It's kind of like Netflix for your fitness. So if you think about like Netflix and you have all these TV shows that you can just watch whenever, that's the same thing with this. You have all these workout programs that you can literally play and do whenever. So you get that for a year. You get a month worth of Shakeology and everything that comes with each program, like meal plans. You get portion control, fixed containers, and then you also will get our 21-day, I think it's Fit Life, 21-day Fit Life planner that I send out to my challengers. And then your $40 coaching fee is waived. So this waives that $40 coaching fee. So that's the first and the best way I think about for signing up. And then other ways, depending on where you are at, if you say you can't afford the $160 right now, I can meet you where you're at. Where can you like invest? You're at least going to be paying $40 to start up with the coaching fee if you're not doing a challenge pack. So you can think about like even just starting with the $40 coaching fee, we can start you up with our free 14-day of trial of Beachbody On Demand. So you at least get 14 days free to do like we can come up with you for you for you to do for the 2 weeks, and then you get charged the $40 a quarter. So that's an awesome option for those of you who literally can't afford to do the $160 right now. And we will work our way up to earning enough to buy your Shakeology. So basically helping enough people to earn enough money to buy your Shakeology for that month, right? So that will be that's our first month goal. So that's kind of how to get started and the cost. The cost is going to be totally dependent on what you can invest. And I like to say invest because you're totally investing in yourself and in your health and in your future when you join. You're not just buying something. I'm not asking you to keep inventory. I'm not asking you to like buy for other people. I'm just asking you to buy and invest in yourself. So you literally buy whatever you're going to use. So like for us, we get Shakeology. Both me and Nick drink Shakeology every single month. We have an Energize that I drink. We have our Hydrate supplement that I drink. And then we have our Daily Sunshine that Grayson drinks. And so like we have many things coming in, but these are all products we use. I never really usually have stuff on inventory. I don't buy inventory to give out. So that's another thing. I get that question, I guess, a lot is like, do I have to have an inventory? No, you don't have to have stocked products, which I wouldn't be doing this if we did. Because I did something like that in the past, and it was just, I didn't want to spend $400, $500, $600 on inventory to keep that I didn't know if I was going to sell, right? I just did not like that. Another thing, you don't have to do home parties. Let's get that out of the way, because I know there's a lot of businesses and a lot of companies where you have to do home parties. You don't have to do that here, okay? Everything can be done online. So for you introverts, because that's me, I'm a huge introvert. It may not look like it right now, but you guys, I've been doing this for 6 years, so I'm a little bit more comfortable on camera. But when I first started, I was not, and I'm super introverted when I'm in public. You will not find me really talking to random people. You'll not find me the center of the crowd. I'm very introverted. I'm very keep to myself, homebody, which is why I love this business, because I can do everything like from my computer. So if you're an introvert, this is still perfect for you, because you don't have to do home parties. You don't have to go door to door. You don't have to like talk to people in the grocery store if you don't want to. You can literally do it all from your home. Okay. So there's that. Now you get signed up. We figure out what is the best option for you. We get you signed up. It says, congratulations, you are a Beachbody coach. What you can expect for the first like couple weeks is you're going to join my Love Thyself group, which is basically my challenge group, which is basically the fitness accountability group. Okay. So we have that group on our special VIP tracker for Beachbody. So you'll be joining that, start focusing on yourself, start focusing on your fitness, and jump right into that, sharing in that group, sharing on your page. Okay. So we'll start with that. Work on you. That's our biggest focus right away your first couple weeks. Okay. Is working on you. I will be sending you a welcome email that does have steps in it on what to do right away, and you can start working on those. I'll add you to our team pages, welcome you to our 2 different team pages, and then we have a new coach training that is in the welcome email that's self-paced, and we will also have a new coach training that I start on the 1st of every month. That's normally like a 7 to 14 day training. So you'll go through that, and then you are ready to go. You also will always have one-on-one mentorship from me. As long as you are a coach, as long as you are a customer, you get access to me for life. So if you have questions, you can ask me, you can ask our team, you can YouTube. I will tell you, my most successful coaches are my coaches who are the most independent, and they're just like, they just figure it out on their own. They search YouTube, they ask in team pages, they Google. You guys will get all the resources to be successful. Everything that I have gone through plus more, you will get. And it's just up to you to be consistent every single day, to put in the work. It's not going to be easy, but it's hella worth it, you guys. Like, think about a year from now. Like, if you think about right now, what you want your life to look like a year from now, it can be possible, but you have to work. You have to show up. You have to work on yourself harder than you've ever worked on yourself, and share that journey. And I want to leave you guys with these 2 questions. Okay. So think about these, and I would love to hear from you. So if you're watching and I invited you to this, I would love to hear what your answers are to these 2 questions. If you were to wake up tomorrow and you had $500,000 in your bank account, what would you do? What would you do with it? Would you go shopping? Would you pay off debt? Would you buy a new house? Would you buy a new car? Would you put some away? What would you do with that? Okay. Then the next day you woke up with the same. What would your day look like? If you just kept waking up and you had that much money in your bank account, what would your day look like? Because eventually you get sick of spending it. So what would you do with your time? That is like your ideal day. What would your ideal day look like if work and money and time weren't an issue? What would you do? Think about that. I'm asking you guys to dream. I'm asking you guys to think outside the box. I think that's one of my favorite things about this business too, is that you have permission to dream. You have permission to goal set, because there is no limit. The only limit you have is the limit you put on yourself. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for jumping on live if you're on live, or listening to the recording. And I look forward, I'm super excited and look forward to welcoming you all. I'm saying you all because I'm expecting all of you to join to our team. If you guys have any more questions about anything that I said tonight, you can comment in our group, or you can comment on here, or you can get a hold of me, and we will chat more to see if this is a good fit for you and if you're ready to invest. So I look forward to talking to you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.